Okay, so the last time we met, we read Flat Stanley, and we remember that he visited the state of California with his friend. And then we are going to continue with Flat Stanley, but we're also going to read a short story with your friend today. You're going to read that together, and then you'll answer the questions by yourself, and then we'll discuss that. Then we're going to do our Flat Stanley, and we'll kind of do a little activity. And we're going to create a project also to go with Flat Stanley. First off, Flat Stanley is a short story. Do you guys know what is the definition of a short story? Do you guys know?
No, I don't even know whatever you said.
A short story is? Okay, a short story is a book that has a beginning, a middle, and an end, but it sums it up smaller. Do you know what sums it up means? No? Okay, it shortens it. So like Flat Stanley, he is a short story book. Now, the older you get, you will start reading what they call chapter books with lots of chapters, or you'll read a novel. And a novel is very detailed, and it will go into specific details. And now, right now, we're just starting with short stories to build our comprehension. And the older we get, the importance it is to build our comprehension. So when you read short little passages, like what we're going to read today with your friend, that's just helping you build your comprehension, your vocabulary. And remember, we worked on, I timed you on how quick you could read in a minute, and then I marked it and I circled your words that you had missed, and we practiced that. That's kind of also to help build your fluency, how to become a quick reader and fluently read through the sentences. So right now, I'm going to give you your passage, and you can slide your Flat Stanley packets off to the side. And I'm going to set my timer. We're going to use my phone today because we don't have our timer here. I'm going to set my phone timer for 2 minutes, and you're going to read this through with your partner. You can each read a sentence, or one of you can go through and read the passage, and then the next time one of you can go in and read the passage, okay? So you will decide as each co-partners here, and you'll decide which way you want to do it. All right, so I'm going to give you your papers, and I'm going to set the timer, and I'm going to kind of watch to see how you do. It's not about quickness, it's about how just to read with your partner and kind of interact with each other. And if you want to talk about your passage, that's fine too. If you want to talk about what you like about it, that's good. That's a great idea. You don't understand? Okay. So what we're going to do is we'll just read, you're just going to read this. Like if Nevaeh wanted to read one sentence, when a sentence ends, what happens? There's a what there?
Period.
A period. And then a new sentence begins. So each of you want to do one sentence at a time, you can. You're just going to read it together. Okay? So kind of you can take turns. I'm just setting the timer so we stay on time and we make sure that we get everything done like we normally do. Okay? All right. So you guys ready? No biggie. You can just, so one of you can decide who wants to read first.
You?
Okay. Go ahead and start, Nevaeh. That'll be good.
The sun is bright. Kay and Mike are going for a hike with their mom. They like to smell the pine trees in the woods. They like to find wild animals to look at when a bird flies by. Kay
if you want, each of you can read the whole passage one at a time, or, oh, that's okay for you. Or you can go ahead and I'll give you a couple minutes for you to read it by yourself, and I want you to answer the 1 through 5 questions, okay? Okay, so, yeah, there's the timer. So, and then we'll kind of go over those. So there's your pencil, so I'll give you some time to do that, okay?
Can you read it?
You can read it, or if you feel like you've got enough, then you can start to answer the questions. And you can go back in the story and look for that. If you need help, you can underline where you found those answers too. And when you finish, I will come by and kind of talk with you about that. You don't do that? Okay. K and 1 walk a long way on there. Now go back in the story. And what are they a long way on their what?
I just read it and check.
Yeah, there you go. Yep, just read and check and make sure you got the correct answer. What is that? Hike. Because they went on a hike. Hike is kind of like a walk. And you can flip it over and draw a picture if you want for a minute. Okay, that's good. I'm going to go ahead and set the timer. And when it goes off, we'll just we'll have you stop where you are, and then we'll go over our questions. Okay? So give you a little more time. you do because you're happy?
Smile.
Mm-hmm. Okay, number 5. Okay. Okay. Freya, will you flip back over the paper so we can go over? I got the chair got stuck. Perfect. On the paper. Okay. While I read the passage, I want you to follow along. That is called tracking. I want you to be tracking with your finger so you can see the words. And the title of our passage is The Hike. The sun is bright. Kay and Mike are going for a hike with their mom. They like to smell the pine trees in the woods. They like to find wild animals to look at, too. When a bird flies by, Kay and Mike always smile. Kay and Mike talk while they walk. They will be walking for a long time, but they do not mind. Okay, what is the main idea of this passage? Going on a hike, that's right. Okay, so the first one, Kay and Mike walk a long way on their hike. Very good. Did you get a hike too, Nevaeh? Okay. They like the smell of the blank trees.
Pine trees.
Very good. Kay and Mike like to look at blank animals. Wild. Oh, because you wrote trees too. That's okay. Yeah. And did you get wild? No. Good job. Kay and Mike blank because they are happy.
Smile.
And number 5, they do not blank the long walk.
Mind.
Mind. Okay, everybody, you can put a star on top of your paper. Way to go. All right. Now, what did you notice about those words? What kind of vowel did they have? What kind of vowel? I. What kind? Was he a short I or was he a long I? Long. Freya, do you see how? Do you know why? Okay. Did the I say his name in the long I? So in pine and wild and smile, you hear the long I? All right, you can slide those to the side. Now we're going to start with Flat Stanley. Have you missed Flat Stanley? Yeah, let's see what adventure he's up to. He went to see his friends in California. How did he get there?
In envelope.
Envelope. Do you think you could be in an envelope? Could I mail you somewhere in an envelope?
No.
No. So do you think our story is probably what? Yeah, because we can't really get smashed by a bulletin board, could we? And it'd be mailed in an envelope. All right. Well, where we go? Yeah, it would be crazy. Okay, we're going to start Flat Stanley. We're going to see what he's up to today. Okay, Bree, do you want to put your pencil on the page right now, Steve? And we're going to listen. Do you guys want to sit on the floor while I read, or do you want to stay in your seats?
I don't care.
It's up to you guys. Stay in your seats. Okay, here we go. The Museum Thieves. Oh boy, let's see what Flat Stanley's going to do. Mr. and Mrs. O. J. Dart lived in the apartment above the lamb chops. Mr. Dart was an important man, the director of the famous Museum of Art downtown in the city. Stanley Lambchop had noticed in the elevator that Mr. Dart, who was ordinarily a cheerful man, had become quite gloomy, but he had no idea what the reason was. And then at breakfast one morning, he heard Mr. and Mrs. Lambchop talking about Mr. Dart. I see, said Mr. Lambchop, reading the paper over his coffee. And that still another painting has been stolen from the famous museum? It says here that Mr. O.J. Dart, the director, is at his wit's end. So what do you think wit's end might mean? Wit's end means he's just at a loss. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what to do. Sometimes do you think your moms and dads feel like they're at their wit's ends? They just don't know. Okay. Wit's ends means they're kind of confused. They don't know what to do. You think sometimes mom, when Reagan's crying as a new baby, do you think she kind of feels like she's at her wit's end because she doesn't know what to do to make him happy?
Only when our dad isn't here.
Yeah, only when your dad isn't here. Yeah, with 3 kids, it's busy. So.
Yeah, but when my brother's with my dad, he just stops crying.
So, Nevaeh, do you think Jessica gets at her wit's end sometimes?
Yep.
Yeah, because all the kids. Yeah.
Besides me.
Besides you. Okay.
I'm the best.
Oh dear, are the police no help? Miss Lambchop asked. It seems not, Mr. Lambchop. Listen to what the chief of police told the newspaper. We suspect a gang of sneaky thieves. These are the worst kind. They work by sneakery, which makes them very difficult to catch. However, my men and I will keep trying. Meanwhile, I hope people will buy tickets for the policeman's ball and not park their cars where signs say don't. The next morning, Stanley Lambchop heard Mr. Dart talking to his wife in the elevator. These sneaky thieves work at night, Mr. Dart said. It is very hard for our guards to stay awake when they have been on duty all day, and the famous museum is so big we can't guard every picture at the same time. I fear it is hopeless, hopeless, hopeless. Suddenly, as if an electric light bulb had hit up in the air above his head, giving out little shooting lines of excitement, Stanley Lambchop had an idea. He told it to Mr. Dart. So, okay, let's go ahead and maybe draw our inference. We worked on that too, inferencing. Let's see, what do you think? Remember? Okay, so let's think. So, right now, Mr. Dart and the parents have read the newspaper article. Mr. Dart, he doesn't know what to do. Now Stanley has an idea. What do you think possibly could be Stanley's idea?
He could maybe sneak out of the house and then he could slip into the museum and watch it.
And watch for what?
The bad guys.
Okay, what do you think, Rebecca? You don't know what Stanley's idea might be? Okay, well, let's see. That's a pretty good one, Bria. Stanley, Mr. Dart said, if your mother will give me her permission, I will put you and your plan to work this very night. Mrs. Lambchop gave her permission. But you will have to take a long nap this afternoon, she said. I won't have you up till all hours unless you do. That evening, after a long nap, Stanley went with Mr. Dart to the famous museum. Mr. Dart took him into the main hall where the biggest and most important paintings were hung. He pointed to a huge painting that showed a bearded man wearing a fluffy velvet hat, playing a violin for a lady who lay on a couch. There was a half-man, half-horse person standing behind them, and 3 fat children with wings were flying around above. That, Mr. Dart explained, was the most expensive painting in the world. There was an empty picture frame on the opposite wall. We shall hear more about that later on. Mr. Dart took Stanley into his office and he said, it is time for you to put on a disguise. Oh, disguise, what's that mean?
Something you wear so people don't notice you.
That's right, good job. I already thought of that, Stanley Lambchop said, and I brought one, my cowboy suit. It was a red bandana that I can tie over my face, and nobody will recognize me in a million years. No, Mr. Dart said. You will have to wear the disguise I have chosen. Now, do you think against the painting here, now think, we all know what cowboy gear looks like. And then that's the painting that he's going to hang by. Now, do you think they would notice if Stanley wore his cowboy gear next to that painting? Yeah, probably, huh? From a closet he took a white dress with a blue sash, a pair of shiny little pointed shoes, a white straw hat with a blue band that matched the sash, and a wig and a stick. Oh boy, what is he doing? The wig was made of blonde hair, long and done in ringlets.
He's gonna dress her up as a girl.
We're gonna see, huh? The stick was curved at the top, and it too had a blue ribbon on it. In this shepherd disguise, Mr. Dart said, "You will look like a painting that belongs in the main hall. We do not have cowboy pictures in the main hall." Stanley was so disgusted he could hardly speak. "I will look like a girl. That's what I will look like," he said. I wish I had never had my idea. But he was a good sport, so he put on the disguise. Back in the main hall, Mr. Dart helped Stanley climb up into the empty picture frame. Stanley was able to stay in place because Mr. Dart had cleverly put 4 small spikes in the wall, one for each hand and foot. The frame was a perfect fit against the wall. Stanley looked just like a picture, except for one thing, Mr. Dart said. Shepherdesses are supposed to look happy. They smile at their sheep, at the sky. You look fierce, not happy, Stanley. Look at him. Oh my, he isn't very happy, is he?
No.
Stanley tried hard to get a faraway look in his eyes and even to smile a little bit. Mr. Dart stood back a few feet and stared at him for a moment. "Well," he said, "it may not be art, but I know what I like." He went off to make sure that certain parts of Stanley's plan were taken care of, and Stanley was left alone. It was very dark in the main hall. A little bit of moonlight came through the windows, and Stanley could just make out the world's most expensive painting on the opposite wall. He felt as though the bearded man with the violin and the lady on the couch and the half-horse person and the winged children were all waiting, as he was, for something to happen. Time passed, and he got tired and tireder. Anyone would be tired this late at night, especially if he had to stand in a picture frame balancing on spikes. Maybe they won't come, Stanley thought. Maybe the sneak thieves won't come at all. The moon went behind a cloud, and then the main hall was pitch dark. It seemed to get quieter, too. With the darkness, there was absolutely no sound at all. Stanley felt the hair on the back of his neck prickle beneath the golden curls of the wig. Creak. The creaking sound came from the right out of the middle of the main hall, and even as he heard it, Stanley saw in the same place the tiny yellow glow of light. The creaking came again, and the glow got bigger, and a trap door had opened in the floor, and 2 men came up through it in the hall. Stanley understood everything all at once. These must be the sneaky thieves. They had a secret trapdoor entrance into the museum from outside. That was why they had never been caught. And now, tonight, they were back to steal the most expensive painting in the world. He held very still in his picture frame and listened to the sneaky thieves. "This is it, Max," said the first one. "This is where we art robbers pull a sensational job whilst the civilized community sleeps." "Right, Luther," said the other man. "In all this great city there is no one to suspect us." "Ha, ha, ha," thought Stanley Lambchop. "That's what you think." The sneak thieves put down their lantern and took the world's most expensive painting off the wall. "What would we do if anyone tried to capture us, Max?" the first man asked. "We would kill him. What else?" his friend replied. That was enough to frighten Stanley, and he was even more frightened when Luther came over and stared at him. "This sheep girl," Luther said. "I thought sheep girls were supposed to smile, Max. This one looks scared." And just in time, Stanley managed to get a faraway look in his eyes again and to smile, sort of. "You're crazy, Luther," Max said. "She's smiling, and what a pretty little thing she is, too." That made Stanley furious. He waited until the sneaky thieves had turned their back to the world's most expensive painting, and he shouted in the loudest, most terrifying voice, "Police! Police! Mr. Dart, the sneaky thieves are here!" The sneak thieves looked at each other. "Max," said the first one very quietly, "I think I heard the sheep girl yell." "I think I did too," said Max in a quivering voice. "Oh boy, yelling pictures. We both need to rest." "You'll get a rest, all right," shouted Mr. Dart, rushing in with the chief of police and lots of guards and policemen behind him. "You'll get arrested, that's what." Ha ha ha. The sneak thieves were too mixed up by Mr. Dart's joke and too frightened by the policemen to put up a fight. Before they knew it, they had been handcuffed and led away to jail. The next morning in the office of the chief of police, Stanley Lambchop got a medal. The day after that, his picture was in all the newspapers. Hero Stanley Lambchop. Okay, so we'll stop right there. Okay, why don't you stand up, and we'll kind of do a little exercise here and a little game with our packet. Okay, kind of want to spread out. Okay, I'm going to ask you questions about chapter 4, and then you're going to do something. You can either put your hands out like that to do like a little Macarena, or you can do any kind of motion you want, and then I may even tell you which motion to do. Sometimes I might say free choice, and that's when you can do something, okay? All right, let's see. Answer these. We're going to answer these comprehension questions. So you're just going to tell me, who was Mr. Dart?
The person who owned the museum.
Very good. Okay, I want you to bear walk.
What?
Bear walk. How do the bear walk? Very good. Any way you want. Okay. Stop. What was Mr. Dart's problem?
People kept coming and taking his picture.
Okay, what is it, Nevaeh?
They're thieves.
Thieves. Very good. Do you guys know how to crab walk?
Yeah.
Okay, Bria, show us. All right, crab walk. Oh, good job. Okay, stand up where you are. Okay. What were the 2 reasons that the museum is hard to guard? Okay, Bria, what was one reason?
All the policemen, they kept falling asleep.
What was the other reason, Nevaeh?
They didn't have enough liquor around
That's right. Or it was dark out. Dark in the building now. Okay, do a jumping jack. All right, freeze. How did the thieves get into the museum?
A trapdoor.
Where?
Under the floor, I think.
What was the
Dark hallway.
in the dark hallway? Very
I
good.
got the right part. Hallway.
Okay, free choice. You can do what you want. Gotta be quick. Pick quick.
Look at your best.
Okay. Good job. All right. Last one. What did the chief of police give to Stanley?
A medal.
A medal. And then what else happened, Nevaeh? And what did they do with this picture?
They put it on everybody's paper.
They did. Okay, I want you to hop on one foot. All right, good job. Okay, girls, come back to your seats. Okay. All righty, now,
Where's all that news
that will be the lunch program, and you guys you'll get out in time to do that, okay? Because this is the last day for it, so we'll get time to do that, okay?
Last day for what
The lunch program.
it is.
You know, so, okay, now we're going to, the last time you guys were here, I told you we had these, we colored them. Remember? Okay, do you know which one is? Okay. Now, we're going to make our suitcase, because remember, Stanley, he didn't pack a suitcase. What did he put in his envelope?
A sandwich and a jug of milk.
Well, it couldn't have been a jug, because he was in an envelope.
Or a bag of
No,
milk.
remember, it was a toothbrush holder and milk.
Um,
Okay, so you're going to fold your paper in half, like this. Okay, like this. And then you're going to glue your suitcase on the front side of it, all right? So we'll start with that part.
So we're going to glue this on the back or the
Front. So you want it to be, no, you want it like this, and then you want to put the suitcase just like that. And that's what you're going to do there.
Should I glue? Should I like glue everywhere? Is even gonna fit?
It'll fit. It's kind of going to be just a little bit bigger, but we want it like that, okay? So just like that. And then you want to glue it on there. You may want to just use the glue Bria used, I don't know. That one maybe. Try that. Okay, now I'm going to take these because this is one part of what we're doing here. Do you have it? Okay, you want the opening at the bottom now. Nevaeh. See, the handle at the top and then the opening here. So just, it's okay, just turn your paper like that and then lay it down. Okay. Okay. All right, so now, these are going to dry, so now we're going to start the next part of our project. You're going to, I'm going to slide those over there. We don't need those yet. Okay, so you have your pencils. Okay, and on the pencils, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you your writing paper. Now, I want you to just, I know some words you don't know how to spell, and that's okay. But I want you to go ahead and think about somewhere, if you were Flat Stanley, you would go visit. And what adventure would you do? Okay?
Like what would we do there?
Yes. So you're going to think of a state you're going to visit, and then what you would do there. Okay? All right. So that's what you're going to do for just a couple minutes. I'm going to go let the lunch lady know that you ladies are in here and that you'll be out for lunch along with it, okay? All right. So go ahead.
So just say where we're going to visit and that.
Yeah, what say? You would say, you can call yourselves Flat Bria or Flat Nevaeh.
No.
Yeah, but you just want to talk about what state you visited, and then you...
visited other states.
Oh, it's okay. You just come up with one that you maybe want to go see later when you get bigger, and then you're going to tell about the adventure. Maybe you have to go discover something.
How do you put it in?
Okay, I'll write it on the board, okay? And then just spell the best you can, okay, Nevaeh? And then later we're
Is
gonna
there
work.
any erasers?
Yeah, I'll get you one. Okay, Nevaeh, there we go. All right. Hold on. Yep. And I can get one too for you. Oh, yeah. Hey, Gabrielle. Okay, now I'm gonna go let her know real quick while you guys work, okay? That you're here. Hang on. That we have
And it is in the church.
2 for lunch, okay?
Okay, that is really nice. She would.
Okay, I told her. So, go ahead and write and. Okay, now just tell about what you would do in Arizona.
I
Just
see
be-
my family.
Okay, be creative and tell them, think about where they would take you, okay?
Mm.
That's what you want to do. Maybe, are you saying you would go to Louisiana? So
And
maybe,
have a party, because that's what, because every day we were at Louisiana. Last time we just did parties every night.
now tell me, kind of go into detail what you would do at your party. Maybe you go on a crocodile hunt, alligator. So you want to be creative, so use your imagination.
Can I write what we did there?
Yeah.
Like,
You can write about your party.
which way does the D go?
Belly facing in towards your knee. Just use your imagination. There you go. Just think about what you want to do with your family. They have cactuses and deserts in Arizona.
Gosh,
Think of something that you want to do. Maybe there was a silly event that you did to make your story kind of funny.
no.
Okay.
Did I erase that then? Okay, what kind of wood did I spell?
Oh, you spelled like the wood of a table. And you say you want the other. Good job of recognizing there's 2 different woods. You want the one that's W-O-U-L-E. Okay.
Can I write things I wanted to do?
Yeah. And use your imagination. see, Bria, if there's a, I thought there was, I think we probably have some in our box that are, oh yeah we do. Here's one with an actual eraser and it's sharpened. We'll trade out those two. Okay.
I'm done.
Okay, add a little more detail for me, okay?
I didn't do anything else.
Okay, use your imagination and just think of something. Think of something you can add to it, okay?
I'm gonna erase this.
Okay. Use your imagination. Maybe on yours, Nevaeh, like, maybe you and your cousins.
I've never been to airplanes, so.
Well, maybe you and your cousins went on a desert hunt. Maybe you had to find a missing animal.
Like, lizard hunting?
Yeah, you could go, yeah, there you go. Good imagination. On lizard hunting, that would be great. Yeah. Mhm.
How do you spell lizard?
Smell it the best you can, okay? All right, I'm going to set the timer. And then when it goes off, we'll put that away and we'll finish it up the next day. So I want you to work on it for just a little bit longer. I'm going to keep your papers because they'll go in your portfolios because the last day we'll have things to look at. Okay?
I can't think of anything else.
So kind of expand on your lizard hunt there, Nevaeh.
Let's go to the desert and build food castles.
Mm-hmm. What do you think you saw in the desert? Maybe.
Is it time to go and eat yet?
Almost, yeah. I'm not going to let you miss your lunch program, okay? She knows. You just got a little bit longer. I know, our time was kind of off today. We're usually finished before the we finish before the lunch program, don't we? But today, we got a little bit of a later start. Oh, that's our next thing, okay?
We don't forget to decorate our floors.
We'll probably do that right before we show our moms and stuff, our stuff we've done. Okay. So Bria, can you think of some more stuff? Can you use your imagination? Can you go more detail about the food maybe you have?
I don't remember the food we had on the other nights, but I remember my grandma we made like some rice and gravy, but it was different from my dad's.
Okay, so
This
can you
time it
write
had a
that?
bunch of beans.
Yeah, write about your gravy mix. What you thought about it. Okay. We're gonna gave, yes, that's okay.
Gravy.
Okay. Gravy. Okay. All right. Why don't we go ahead and okay. We'll go ahead and slide that to the side. I'll pick this up. And I want you to think about that as you go home tonight. To think of how you can imagine something you want to do in your place. That if you were Flat Stanley, what else would you want to see or do there? Okay? Then that way, when we come back, you can finish your short story, and we'll put it in, and we're going to fold it up and make this like this is the cover of our book, and so inside will be our story.
It isn't
And we'll get
very
to change.
short.
No, but we'll probably trim it down once you guys finish writing. Okay, the last little project we have for today, and then you guys can go eat lunch when you're getting hungry, is I want you to decorate the front of your postcard. How many of you have seen a postcard? Yeah, and it has a picture of a state that you've been to, and on the back you write a little note.
I don't
So-
know how to write a state.
It's okay. It's okay. Draw something like Nevaeh, since you're visiting Arizona. You may want to draw like a cactus and like lizards on the front of your little
I
postcard.
could draw
We're not
alligators.
gonna
visit it.
I know, but we're just pretending. These are our pretend postcards like we've been there.
We could actually post them if we wanted.
We could, yeah. Okay, so I want you
send it later.
Well, we could probably do that after you guys draw them and we color them. So I want you to draw the front. You're going to design your own postcard is what you're doing. And it's going to be about the state you've been to, okay? I guess I should say more about the state that your Flat Stanley story is about.
Okay, I do not know how to go.
Just do the best you can. Oh, yeah.
I forgot the other. What are you drawing? Are you an alligator? Is there a bunch of alligators in Louisiana?
Big mosquitoes. And like yours can be cactus and lizards and the sun. So I bet it's hot in Arizona.
I'm gonna draw the desert.
Okay, you can. Just little mountains of hills and stuff. And then you can color it if you want. We have a little bit of time.
Other things.
That's fine. You could draw a little crawfish or shrimp.
We haven't been down to the lake yet.
Yeah.
Well, we're thinking of going again when my dad gets done with day work.
Yeah.
We had to haul 1,000 and like
Okay, I'm gonna set the timer and we'll finish up. And that way then you guys can go get your lunch,
Well,
okay?
if we're not done.
We'll finish up the next day, okay?
Wait, tomorrow we're gonna do this?
We won't have it tomorrow, but
Oh
we'll
yeah,
have,
because swimming lessons.
yeah, well, yeah, you girls have swimming lessons, we won't have it tomorrow.
I wanna have it in the Howard.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is gonna be swimming lessons in Howard.
Yeah.
I wanna go there.
Okay, finish up your postcards, okay? And then we'll get ready so you can go to lunch.
Okay, this is a wizard, but I don't know.
That's okay.
I'm horrible at drawing.
Oh, that's okay. Those are pretty good. You're using your imagination. Good job, Rhea. I
I'm
like
not gonna
it.
draw them up here because then I think they're eyeballs.
Yeah, that's right. Good job. Okay. I'm gonna put that with your stuff. And just wait 1 second, and we're kind of gonna do a summary of what we've done today. Okay.
You said we were gonna eat.
Yes, I'm gonna wait on the weigh-in, and then we'll let her weigh in. Okay.
How do you spell desert?
Desert, you do the best you can. All right.
What is the bird's head? Sorry. Okay, I do not know how to draw a bird.
It's okay. We do the best we can. All right. Okay, so what was our vocab? We'll kind of sum up while Nevaeh is drawing. What was our vocabulary word we discussed at the beginning?
I don't know the vocabulary.
Wait, was that one word we talked about? What kind of story is Stanley? What was that?
Story.
A short story. And what is a short story?
A short story.
Yeah, but what is it? Is it a long book that goes into lots of detail?
No.
Or do they sum it up for
Yeah,
us?
sum it up.
They
A book
sum
that
it
doesn't
up.
have quite a lot of detail.
A lot of, yeah, it doesn't have a lot of detail, that's right. And then we learned about, what was our passage called we read? What was our passage?
The height.
The hike. Okay. And then, what else did we know about with Flat Stanley? What are we building on? What are we working on? As we're reading our short story and our passages, we're building on our comprehension. That is what we remember about our details in the stories we read and the importance of that. And then did we inference things? Yeah, we kind of inferenced how we thought Flat Stanley was going to discover how he was going to discover the thieves, right? We kind of drew our own little thing about that. Then we talked about fluency. What is fluency? Remember? Do you guys remember what fluency is?
No.
Okay, wasn't fluency how we can read clearly through each sentence? Not really about speed. It's about how we read through things. And then we kind of just went over and read Flat Stanley, right? Okay, we kind of summed up our day. Is there any questions you guys have? Did you guys have fun today?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're also going to build on our short story writing and use our imagination, right? Okay, you guys can be done for today. Good job.